Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, we're diving into a report from Emerald Holding Inc. And let me tell you, it's not just about pretty green stones. This report is more about numbers and votes, but hopefully less boring than it sounds. Before we jump in, if you are the kind of person who loves to dig into corporate filings, remember to subscribe to the channel and join our Discord server, link in the description below. So what's this Form 8K all about? Basically, it's a snapshot of some important decisions made at Emerald Holdings' annual meeting. Think of it like a school election, but with more money and less drama, or maybe about the same drama. They tell the SEC about some important things that happened. In this case, it's about who got elected to the board and who they picked to count their money. This report is dated May 21 to 2025. This is the day the earliest event happened that they're talking about. Here's the meat of the report. The company held its annual meeting of stockholders on May 21, 2025. Basically, all the people who own a piece of the company got together either in person or by proxy, like voting from home, to make some big decisions. The main things they voted on were who gets to be on the board of directors and who gets to check the company's financial books. Two main proposals were on the table. First, they need to re-elect some members to the board of directors. These are the folks who steer the ship, making sure the company is heading in the right direction. Second, they had to pick an accounting firm to audit their finances. Think of it as hiring someone to double check your homework, making sure everything adds up. To be able to vote, you had to be a stockholder by March 31, 2025. This date is important because it determines who gets a say in the company's decisions. Let's talk about the first proposal, which was all about re-electing three people to the board of directors: Konstantin, Orkosti, Gillies, Todd Hyatt, and Lisa Klinger. They were running for another term to keep helping guide the company. Time for the results. For Kosti Gillies, over 18.7 million people voted for him, while about 5 million decided to withhold their vote. For Todd Hyatt, he got over 19.2 million votes in favour, and only about 63,000 withheld. Lisa Klinger also did well, with over 92 million votes for her, and only about 54,000 withheld. Now, there's also something called broker non-votes, which in all cases was about 3.8 million. This happens when brokers holding shares for clients don't get instructions on how to vote. Since it's the annual meeting, the brokers can't vote on this proposal. The second proposal was about ratifying the selection of PricewaterhouseCoopers, LLP known as PwC, as the company's independent registered public accounting firm. In normal English, that means shareholders got to vote on whether they agreed with the company's choice of who checks their math. Here's how that vote went down. A whopping 195.8 million people voted in favour of keeping PwC as the accounting firm. Only about 225,000 voted against it, and a tiny fraction, around 10,000, abstained, meaning they didn't pick a side. There were no broker non-votes for this proposal. That's pretty much it for this report. It's a quick look at some key decisions made by Emerald Holdings shareholders, mainly about who gets to run the show and who gets to keep the books in check. The report was signed by David Doft, the Chief Financial Officer. So what does all this mean? Well, it shows that the company is following the rules, holding meetings and letting shareholders have a say. It also gives you a peek into who's in charge and who's making sure the numbers are accurate. Looking at these votes, it seems like the shareholders are pretty happy with the current direction of the company. All three board members got overwhelmingly positive votes, showing they have the support of the people who own the company. Also, keeping PwC as the accounting firm suggests they trust the company's financial reporting. One thing to keep an eye on is those broker non-votes in the board member elections. While they didn't change the outcome, it does mean that a significant chunk of shares didn't get a say. It could be because people just didn't bother to vote, or it could point to some deeper issues with shareholder engagement. Overall, this report paints a picture of a company that's stable and well supported by its shareholders. But as always, it's just one piece of the puzzle. Alright, that's our breakdown of Emerald Holdings' latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.